Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to introduce the chief guest for this session, Mr. Manil Jayasinghe, President of the Chartered Institute of Accountants of Sri Lanka. Mr. Manil Jayasinghe is a fellow member of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, and a member of the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy. He is also the head of assurance in charge of banking and financial services practice of Ernst & Young, Sri Lanka, counting over 30 years of extensive experience. At present, he is serving as the President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, Chairman of the Statutory Accounting Standards Committee, member of the Statutory Auditing Committee, Chairman of the Accounting Standards Committee of South Asian Federation of Accountants, member of the Board of Sri Lanka Accounting and Auditing Standards, the Monetary Board, Council member of SMA Sri Lanka, Commission member of Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, a council member of the National Chamber of Commerce Sri Lanka, a consultant to the audit committees of listed companies, and serves in many other committees. He has served as the chairman of the Examination Committee of Chartered Accountants Sri Lanka, alternate chairman of the Statutory Accounting Standards Committee over the past year, member of the Board of International Accounting Education Standards, Board of the International Federation of Accountants, and member of the Council of University of Moratuwa. I now invite Mr. Jayasinghe to deliver the convocation address. Over to you, sir.
Chancellor Professor Ratnayaka, Vice Chancellor Professor Gamage, Deans of the faculties, academic staff, distinguished invitees, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor for me to be here today at your convocation, and I would like to take this opportunity to extend my appreciation to the Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology for extending me this invitation. I would like to kick off my speech by congratulating each and every one of you for, I'm sure, great achievements that you have done over these years. Today, you celebrate years of hard work, hours of studying, and a lot of commitment to be where you are. Your graduation is an important milestone in your life. As you set your sights towards a successful future with new dreams and new hopes. I am certain this journey came with challenges and perhaps sacrifices by not just you, but also by your family. I think as Professor Gamage mentioned earlier, I'm sure each one of your families also has taken a lot of toll in making sure that you are successful in your studies. So as you celebrate your achievement today, it is also important to acknowledge the dedication and sacrifice made by your family, your lecturers, and everyone else who supported you along the way. The degrees and diplomas you have received from SLIIT will no doubt be your passport to success. But it is important to be mindful that your graduation today does not mean your need for education also ends today. Always remember, education is lifelong. You may feel that this is an end of a journey. In a way, it is. So this is an achievement. It's an end of one era. But it is also the beginning of your life. So education and learning does not necessarily stop. All of you present here may know more about technology than me. I'm a mere accountant, not in that field. But I would like to share some views in relation to the so-called fourth industrial revolution and how technology has impacted everyone, including professionals like me. I think all of your degrees, I was listening to the different types of degrees that were given. Some of them are becoming increasingly important, like cybersecurity. We know that during the past year or so, the pandemic has created a lot of new challenges. Information technology didn't take off because of the pandemic. Actually, information technology took off long time ago. However, I believe information technology, the speed at which information technology has been adopted by the business world as well as the general society in general has accelerated because of the pandemic. And I'm sure all of you are aware of that. During times of curfew, times of work from home, and I'm sure even in your academic career, you would have also realized that there are now lectures being held offline, lectures being held on a virtual mode. Even so, even assessments or examinations are now being held. From my institute's side, I think after 60 years or so, for the first time, we actually conducted our examinations virtually. After 60 years. We've been trying to get it out, get it going for a long time, but it never did. But the silver lining in the pandemic is that it pushed us towards development, I believe, better than as we were struggling. So technology, no doubt, is reshaping every aspect of our life, both at a personal and a professional level. We also saw how COVID accelerated the adoption of technology. Like, I'm sure 1 year ago, if someone were to ask about Zoom or MS Teams or whatever the case may be, we knew they were there, but the application of these were very slow. But today, I'm sure no one has any conversation without mentioning either Zoom or MS Teams or whatever it is. So, working at home has now become some form of a norm. In the new normal, you'll find that personally, I'm reasonably sure we are not going to go back to where we were. So the new normal will be some sort of a mix mechanism where we will use working from home techniques plus going to work or whatever it is. That's going to be the new normal. In this whole new normal, the enabler in all these activities is going to be information technology. So amidst increasing advances in innovation and technology, and as big and small businesses race to embrace the fourth industrial revolution, the advances have also posed renewed challenges and complexity. On the role of professions who are considered to be gatekeepers or enablers in organizations. So COVID-19, the global pandemic, pushed back the world by several decades due to the health and financial crisis. As you may know, today there are a lot of reports in the newspapers about the financial status of our country. So it has not only pushed our country, it has pushed even the almighty so-called Americas, where they also are struggling to some extent. So COVID has impacted everyone in the world. The pandemic also showcased the increasing reliance we have on technology, forcing many of us to work from home or compelling many of you to join lectures virtually. Even the traditional institutions like mine the Institute of Chartered Accountants, we had to quickly change our approach to be able to deliver classes virtually, as I mentioned, even to have examinations virtually. So I think the future is going to be there. We are going to have a mixed model that will go forward. If you look at businesses, you would have noticed during the times of the curfew and even after that, how our distribution channels changed, how the way we do business changed dramatically. From sort of brick and mortar type of organizations where we had to go to a shop to buy something, we immediately switched towards buying it on the net or buying it on an app. If you notice, the transportation industry has dramatically changed, the food distribution industry has changed dramatically, and this will continue to change. So you all are how should I say, qualifying in a field which is absolutely relevant in today's context. Of course, this will bring new challenges. As I mentioned to you, information technology will bring in things like cybersecurity. Sri Lanka was, certain entities was attacked during this particular period. So there will be a lot of threats, new risks that will emerge. And I'm happy to see some of you all are actually excelling in those areas as well. As a professional body, we have also come a long way since, well, the Abacus times. Today, we are surrounded by things like artificial intelligence, blockchain, cybersecurity, data, which are considered the ABCD of the new era. So everyone is talking about these things. As you know, things like things like blockchain, even though we were talking about for some time, it has really not caught on. I'm reasonably sure now with this pandemic, some of these things will start to happen. So according to the Economist magazine, the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil. In the 80s, we were talking about oil being the most valuable resource. Today, the most valuable resource is data. Even if you take AI, what does AI work on? Data. So data is the new oil of the world. According to market research, the global accounting software market will reach $11.7 million in 2026 against $5.7 million in 2017. So it will basically double. And I believe some of the statistics may be a bit old. I believe it will even go further. COVID was an important eye-opener as to why it is important for us to understand the value of technology and why we must work alongside it and not against. So as a profession, we understand that technology-centric skills will form the foundation of the future accounting, from my point of view, accounting profession. So our role will change, but we must also realize that while technology is here to stay, we as humans possess a unique advantage which machines do not have, and that it is the mind which has its many benefits, especially in applying judgments to situations. So yes, computers, information technology will be the future, but also realize that there is also human beings will also play a key role in that whole journey. So realize your value and keep updating your skills so that it is in the next 10 years or even 50 years, you will still be in demand for your skill sets. I'm sure through your education program, you have got all the necessary knowledge and skills necessary as at today. But one thing that I think COVID has taught us all, life and the world is very volatile. It can change overnight. Did you, in January 2020, ever think that the world will be brought to its knees? I don't think anyone did. We, even as at March, didn't think seriously. All of a sudden, middle of March came, country was completely locked down. That is how the change takes place. So one of the things that I'm trying to tell you is the level of agility has to be developed in each one of us. We have to be able to use this knowledge that we have gained and apply it to the situations that are likely to come about. And that requires one critical thing, that is, you have to continue to be relevant in whatever profession or field that you are in. So being a batch topper at a university or institute is no guarantee that you will always be on top when you take on a critical role, unless and otherwise you commit yourself to progress with time by developing your skills. So not only knowledge, but skills become critically important. If you look at the World Economic Forum, the 2025 skills are about complex problem solving, communication, emotional intelligence. These are things that you're talking about. So you have the knowledge, but now you have to develop that skill of applying these to situations. So the business world wants people who are not just equipped with a single skill, but who have multiple skills, as well as knows how to communicate effectively, lead, and understand how to work with and alongside technology. Many people I have seen in practice, brilliant people, but unfortunately, they lack that element of communication, and they are unable to convince someone, make them understand of the conclusions that you reach. And that's what I feel, even in my profession, one of the biggest downfalls we have, because we become so technical that we lose that element of showing someone or making sure that someone else understands to the conclusions that we reach. And that is a critical factor that you all need to keep in mind. As you forge ahead, you need to learn to embrace change and understand the importance of adapting with time. As I had mentioned, agility. Be relevant and open to new opportunities, and do not ever backtrack to take on challenges. Challenges is often what creates new opportunities. So if you look at the pandemic, could we use our historical knowledge to fight it or to overcome it? Today, we don't know. So we react to things as and when it comes. And that's, in my view, is going to be the world in the future. The journey ahead will come with many rewards and numerous challenges. But as much as reaching the top is important, remember, not only work towards your own personal success, but also share knowledge and be of assistance to others. Two important factors that need to be kept in mind in being a professional. It requires you to maintain the highest standards in ethical behavior. And also, it requires you to continue and keep your knowledge relevant. In my view, these are two fundamental factors that will make the distinction between success and being average. Critical factors will be ethical behavior and continuing lifelong learning and being relevant. Eventually, true success is not just about climbing the ladder of success alone, but success is also measured on how you help others during your journey to the top. So, dear graduates, in conclusion, I would like to express my great admiration for the role SLIIT has played in producing thousands of graduates and professionals who are today employed both locally and overseas, and having the relevant degree programs which are relevant in today's context, like what I heard is like cybersecurity, data, and various things like that. So once again, let me congratulate all of you and wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. And may I also wish SLIIT all the very success in future. Thank you very much.